Rise, stand. Before your fingers reach the phone, before the world's noise pushes in, tune into you, say it, own it, etch it into your veins. The world isn't paused, it's observing. You weren't made to disappear into the crowd. You were engineered to break ceilings. Now move, now build, now take ground. I forge my reality with my thinking and my doing. This isn't a quote, it's law, steady, unshakable, absolute. Everything I touch, everything I gain, and everything I miss is the mirror of what I permit in thought and what I choose in action. Life isn't a lottery. It isn't blind fate. It's decisions stacking upon decisions carved by the beliefs I enforce in my mind and the habits I carry into each day. Nothing is written unless I write it. My thoughts aren't whispers, they're blueprints. Every moment I let doubt, fear, or laziness enter, I hand strength to weakness. But when I wake and feed my mind power, vision, and clarity, I cast a mindset that raises empires. My thoughts lead my hands. My hands shape my days, and my days erect the structure of my destiny. That's how I win, not by one dramatic leap, but by quiet, exact victories every morning. When I tell myself I am focused, focus becomes my nature. When I tell myself I am powerful, my behavior speaks power. This is not magic, this is cause and effect. The mind doesn't argue, it accepts it, obeys, it enforces. And once strength becomes my default, action follows without pause. That's when results show up. That's when transformation begins, not outside in, but inside out. I don't wait for motivation. I don't pray for luck. I don't lean on others to lift me. I rise because this life is mine to make or break. If I choose strong thoughts, I gain strong direction. Pair that with relentless execution and nothing can stand in my way. Every builder, every leader, every self-made success lived by this. They became what they kept telling themselves they already were. So I don't speak weakness. I don't say maybe. I don't say I'll try. I say I will. I say I must. I say it's already mine. And then I verify it with action because action is the real test of belief. If I claim greatness while my habits preach laziness, I'm lying to myself. That's why I align my words with my steps. What I think is where I travel. What I do is who I become. Discipline is my language. Vision is my compass. Excuses, delays, and distractions don't live here. Every second is a tool I can wield or a weapon I can waste, and I refuse to waste it. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, but now is mine. And if I own enough nows, I will own the future. I'm not a victim of circumstances. I'm the creator of outcomes. The world owes me nothing. I owe myself everything. That's why I take complete control of my mind and my actions. Victims wait. Builders act. I don't let fear whisper. I face it, overrate it, erase it. Fear survives only when I obey it. The moment I confront it, it shrinks. The moment I walk through it, it dies. Success isn't reserved for the lucky, the gifted, or the chosen. It belongs to the relentless, the focused, the self-directed. Each day I rise, declare strength, and follow with movement. I multiply my power. I'm not aiming to survive. I'm here to dominate. I'm not here to be average. I'm here to break molds, shatter ceilings, and set new standards. First for myself, then for the world. I build habits that align with my vision. I sharpen my mind before my body. I master my thoughts before I chase my goals. And when obstacles show up, I don't ask why me. I state this is for me. Every struggle is a forge. Every challenge is fuel. While others complain, I convert pressure into performance. While others wait for the right mood, I move with intent. I'm not led by feelings. I'm led by purpose. And every morning I return to this truth. My reality isn't accidental. It's intentional. My future responds to hope. It responds to command. I don't need permission to rise. I don't need approval to build. I need the discipline to tell myself the truth and the courage to live like it's real. I was born capable, but capability without responsibility is nothing. So I take full ownership. I am the architect. I am the executive. I am the answer. I create my reality through my thoughts and action. And starting today, I will create nothing less than greatness. Today is my chance to dominate, not hesitate. I don't wake up to wait. I don't rise just to exist. I rise to take command. Each morning is not a restart, it's a proving ground, a chance to show whether I'm serious about what I say I want. There is no room for hesitation because hesitation is the thief of momentum. One pause, only one soft moment can cost me progress. But when I move with precision and purpose, the day bends to my will. I don't compete with others. I compete with my potential. That is the only opponent that matters. I don't care what anyone else is doing. I care whether I do what I said I would do. That's the game. That's the fight. And if I don't win it, the world will win me. The clock is ticking whether I act or not. And I refuse to watch time pass while I sit undecided. Action is power, hesitation is surrender. People wait for motivation. I don't. I train my mind to go, especially when I don't feel like it, because that's where the edge is built, right at the point where most people stop. While they overthink, I execute. While they scroll, I sharpen. While they wish, I work. I don't ask, should I do it now? I say, it's already done. This isn't about being busy. It's about being deliberate. Every move must pull me closer to what I'm building. Every word must carry weight. Every step must be loaded with intent. To dominate the day isn't doing more. It's doing what matters, doing it right and doing it with power. No distractions, no noise, just laser focus and forward motion. Weak thoughts don't get a seat at my table when the day begins. I silence them before they speak. I don't give fear a chair. I don't give doubt a breath. I fill my head with clarity, purpose, and direction. I don't wait for a sign. I am the sign. I don't hope for a push. I am the push. The world answers force, not wishes. It moves for those who refuse to stand still. Any opportunity today could be the breakthrough I've been grinding for, but I'll never know if I hesitate. Doors don't stay open forever. Chances don't wait for convenience. So I don't wait for perfect. I move, I adjust. I improve in motion. If I fall, I rise. If it's hard, I get harder. If it slows, I press faster. No resistance outlasts a relentless spirit. When I step into a room, I bring presence. Not to chase attention, but because I know who I am and what I came to do. I don't shrink to make others comfortable. I don't dim to blend in. My goals aren't small. My work isn't average. I operate on another level because I demand more from myself. And it all begins every morning with one decision: to dominate. Domination isn't control over others. It's control over myself, my reactions, my discipline, my consistency. I'm not ruled by moods. I'm ruled by mission. I don't need an easy day. I need to remember what I'm here for. Once I lock onto that, nothing shakes me. Distractions lose their grip. Doubt loses its voice. Excuses vanish under the weight of pure determination. I hold the pen. I write the story. If I hesitate, the page stays blank. If I dominate, I fill it with legacy. I'm not here to fade into the background. I'm here to carve my name through results, through discipline, through fire, in how I show up. And that starts now, not later, not someday, now. There is a version of me I haven't met yet. Stronger, sharper, steadier, unshakable. That version waits at the end of the road I build today. Every choice pulls me closer, pushes me away. There is no neutral. Every action is a vote. Every decision is a declaration. And I don't vote for hesitation. I vote for execution. So I won't waste this morning. I won't delay. I won't scroll mindlessly or drift aimlessly. I build, I push, I lead, I sharpen, because today is mine and I won't hand it to weakness. The time is now. The power is here. The responsibility is mine. Today is my chance to dominate, not hesitate. And I will not waste a second of it. I am unstoppable when I decide to be. That isn't wishful thinking, it's fact. Nothing can restrain me once I flip the inner switch from maybe to must. The instant that choice is made, doubt gets silenced, fear gets ignored, and distractions lose their hold. Because a made-up mind becomes a weapon the world can't bend. Most people don't fail because they lack skill. They fail because they never fully decide. They want success, but leave escape routes open. I don't. I burn the exit plan. I tear down the back door. I torch excuses before they even formed. When I choose to be unstoppable, forward becomes the only option. That's the raw strength of commitment, total, permanent, non-negotiable commitment. I've learned nothing outside of me outweighs what I carry inside. No obstacle, no opinion, no rejection can overrule a mind already set. When I step into a challenge with the outcome secured in my heart, half the fight is already won. I don't hope it works. I make it work. I don't wait for a sign. I become the signal. My belief fuels the engine. My effort becomes the proof. And once I start, I don't stop until it's finished. Not imagined, not halfway, but done. The world respects energy. It bends to the relentless. It ignores wishers, but it bows to those who pursue with everything. When I choose to be unstoppable, I don't ask permission. I don't beg for reassurance. I don't negotiate with mediocrity. I narrow my focus, silence the noise, and amplify the vision. Every legend that's ever lived made this same choice. To stand firm, not when it was easy, not when it felt good, but under fire, in pain, under pressure, surrounded by reasons to quit. They chose discipline over distraction, power over pity. And that noise, repeated daily, created momentum no force could break. I carry that same fire. I don't need extra talent. I don't need the perfect setting. I already have what matters, the ability to decide, to command my mind and force my body to follow, to step into difficulty and declare, you are not bigger than me, to fall and rise again without complaint, without pause, without losing direction. I don't wait to feel ready. Ready is a trap. There is no perfect moment. There is only the decision to begin and the resolve to continue. And once I've chosen to be unstoppable, the things that used to slow me down, criticism, past mistakes, weak thoughts, fade into the background. Energy dips, results delay, failures appear, but none of it matters once the finish line is already mine in advance. That's what unstoppable means. It's not perfection. It's not fearlessness. It's refusing to quit no matter the condition. It's pushing when the tank feels empty, rising when I'm exhausted, showing up when comfort begs me to stay home. Circumstances don't define me. Decisions do. I've seen people with every reason to collapse rise higher because they refuse to bow to their situation. And I've seen people with every advantage crumble because they never stood firm. It's never about what I have. It's about who I decide to become. And I decide to be stronger. I decide to be sharper. I decide to move forward, always. I've burned too many bridges to go back. I've invested too much to play small. I've traveled too far to stop short. When I say unstoppable, it's not a slogan, it's a declaration. It means I live so ruthlessly aligned with my vision that excuses can't find shelter. It means I fight for what I see, especially when it isn't visible yet. No outside force is coming to rescue me. No miracle is on its way. I am the force. I am the miracle. I am the storm. And I've decided no wall, no doubt, no setback will break me. There is no time for regret, no space for fear. I'm too focused, too determined, too committed to anything less than total domination of my path. I am unstoppable when I decide to be. And I decide every single day. Discipline, not emotion, governs my hours. That's the code I live by. Feelings don't lead. I don't let them. Principles lead. Mood swings don't write my work. Fatigue doesn't rewrite my mission. Emotions are temporary, but goals are permanent. Discipline is the line between dreamers and doers, between average and elite, between starters and finishers. Each time I choose discipline, I reclaim control. Each time I let emotion steer, I give control away. I wake up to win, not to wonder. I don't check how I feel before I act. I act because I said I would. Whether tired, stressed, unmotivated, uninspired, I still advance. That's the edge. That's the separation. While most only work when it feels easy, I've trained to work especially when it doesn't. That's when character hardens. That's when results multiply. That's when progress becomes unstoppable. Discipline is doing what must be done, especially when I don't want to. Emotion says, skip it, later, rest. Discipline says, get up, show up, shut up. Put in the reps. Emotion lies. It seduces with comfort. It whispers that ease is worth more than growth. But I've seen what comfort does. It kills momentum, breeds regret, turns potential into pain. Discipline is different, steady, sharp, reliable. It never fails me. I don't trust motivation. That's weakness pretending to be strategy. Motivation is a feeling. Feelings vanish. Discipline is chosen, enforced, trained. If I only act when inspired, I've already lost. Truth is, my most productive days began with not wanting to do anything, but I did anyway. That's the standard. That's how greatness is built, not with hype, but with consistency. Success is measured by how well I keep my word when nobody's watching. Emotion tells me I've earned a break. Discipline reminds me greatness is earned, not handed out. Emotion wants comfort now. Discipline wants legacy later. Each time I obey discipline, I strengthen the inner voice that leads, commands, and builds a life worth remembering. Preparation isn't a feeling, it's a system. It's built with daily disciplined acts, small deliberate steps stacked every day. The world doesn't care how I feel. Results don't care if I'm tired. Success doesn't show up for the emotional. It shows up for the consistent, and I am that. Consistent even when inconvenient. When the alarm rings, I don't debate. When it's training time, I don't delay. When I said I work, I work. My schedule isn't negotiable. Discipline already made the decision. Emotion wastes time with questions. Discipline saves time with clarity. That's why I win, because I've removed the debate. I don't ask, I execute. There's a unique power in being emotionless when it's time to perform. Not cold, but controlled. Not heartless, but locked in. I don't need to feel inspired to honor my mission. Inspiration may show up later, after the work is done, but it doesn't lead me. I lead it. And when I slip, I know why. It's because I let feelings take the wheel. That's when the mind softens, when excuses disguise themselves. Just this once, you've done enough, no one will notice. But discipline notices. Discipline sees every crack. It doesn't excuse, it corrects. So I correct myself before life does. I hold a line. I don't let a misstep snowball into a pattern. That's the difference. Discipline restores me to the standard fast. That's how I stay ahead, not by being better than others, but by being better than my emotions. I don't need to be superhuman. I just need to be relentlessly consistent. That's how the gap opens between who I was and who I'm becoming. And I close that gap daily with discipline. Every task, every choice, every step. I've learned emotion is noise, discipline is signal, and I don't follow noise, I lock onto signal. Structure, strategy, because strategy wins battles, emotion loses them. I'm not here to feel good every day. I'm here to finish what I start. I sharpen myself with fire, fatigue, and resistance. And my blade is discipline, always discipline. In a position of power, it is temporary. And in power, I am always. When the day closes, I don't ask if it was fun. I ask, did I honor the standard? That's my measure, not comfort, but completion. Not ease, but execution. Discipline makes me dangerous. Discipline makes me dependable. And discipline, daily and unbreakable, is why I will not be stopped. Every challenge is a test of power. I don't run from pressure, I rise inside it. I don't avoid difficulty, I embrace it because it reveals the strength that's been waiting inside me. Obstacles aren't here to break me. They're here to expose my untapped capacity. Where most see problems, I see potential. Where they flinch, I focus them. It's in these moments the weak tap out and the strong level up. I wasn't made for easy. I wasn't born to dodge struggle. I was built to dominate through it. Every challenge that shows up sharpens me further. I don't complain about the test, I conquer it. I don't ask for fewer problems, I demand stronger solutions from myself. Challenges aren't enemies, they're training grounds. They make me faster, smarter, harder to break. This is what divides the many from the few. When the many panic, the few perform. And I am one of the few. I don't fold when the weight of life presses down, I apply pressure back. I don't collapse when plans unravel. I adapt, I adjust, I move again. Challenge doesn't equal failure, it equals opportunity. It's my stage to prove, first to myself and then to the world, that I am focused, disciplined, and unbreakable. Growth doesn't hide in ease. It lives inside hardship. It lives inside setbacks, rejections, late nights, early mornings, frustrations that demand every ounce of my will. And when those moments come, I don't pray them away. I lean in, I rise through them. I prove that what I built within is greater than anything outside that tries to drag me down. That's true power, and it only shows itself under fire. When the storm builds, I don't ask why me. I answer, let's go. Because I know beyond the struggle stands a stronger, sharper version of me waiting to be uncovered. The grind, the discomfort, the fight, they carved me into someone the old me couldn't recognize. And I welcome that. I don't fear the battle. I live for it. Most pray for comfort. I pray for the kind of trials that shape legends. I don't want the easy path. I want the road that demands greatness from every step, because that's the road that turns a name into a legacy. That makes someone undeniable. Not loud, but lethal. Not popular, but powerful. Every challenge is a test, not of what I say I believe, but of what I actually prove when it hurts. Anyone can stand tall when the sky is clear. Anyone can act brave when it's convenient. But the real ones, they keep swinging when the punches keep coming. They keep climbing when the mountain looks endless. That's where character is carved, not in talk, but in trial. Challenges are not setbacks, they are setups. They prepare me for levels unreachable without fire first. So I go through it. I don't dodge the pain. I absorb it, convert it, turn it into steel. I don't run from pressure. I let it shape me. Because the more I endure, the more I expand. The more I overcome, the more dangerous I become. Progress is born through resistance, power through pain, growth through grind. Every time I rise from difficulty, I gain leverage. Mental, emotional, spiritual strength invisible to the eye, but undeniable in effect. Quiet power, silent dominance. I don't need to broadcast it. I let my results speak. I let my presence change the atmosphere. That's what pressure builds, substance, not hype. And that substance follows me into every day. I remind myself, nobody owes me an easy ride. Struggle is part of the deal. If I want to be exceptional, I must embrace what most avoid. I must look at adversity and say, this is the price and I pay it full every single time. No shortcuts, no pity, no pause. The power I prove isn't about ego, it's about respect. The self-respect that comes from showing up when quitting would have been easier. The pride of knowing I kept building when no one watched. The fire of knowing I kept moving when everything said stop. That's the kind of strength you can't fake. It can't be handed over. It must be earned in grind, in pressure, in the challenge. So when the next obstacle rises, I won't flinch, I won't fold, I'll face it head on. Because I don't fear challenges, I use them. Every difficulty is a chance to sharpen my edge. And I don't waste chances. Excuses are lies. Execution is truth. That's the raw, unfiltered reality. Excuses sound clever. They sound justified. But beneath every excuse is surrender, a quiet decision to give in, a silent agreement to settle. And I refuse to live like that. I don't dress hesitation as logic. I don't mask fear as reasoning. I know what excuses are parasites, feeding on comfort, destroying greatness. The only cure is execution. And every time I grant myself an excuse, I lose. Not always on the scoreboard yet, but inside quietly where discipline is built. And that loss compounds. One excuse becomes two become 10. And potential dies under a mountain of rationalizations that sound like truth, but reek of cowardice. Excuses are smooth. They're easy to swallow. They whisper, you're tired, you've done enough. Wait a little longer. No one else is doing it either. But I'm not here to swallow lies. I'm here to build, and building requires execution, relentless, consistent, unbending execution. That's where results live. That's where power is born, not in intention, not in motivation, in action. I don't care how good my plans are, how inspired I feel, how clear my vision looks. If I don't act, none of it matters. The world doesn't pay for potential, it rewards proof. And proof is produced by performance. You want to separate yourself from the average, start executing while they're still making excuses. That's the dividing line. That's the filter that shows who rises and who remains stuck. Every day I stand at two paths, the path of justification and the path of results. One is paved with stories I tell myself about why I can't. The other is paved with habits that prove I can. And already know where each one leads. Excuses end in regret. Execution ends in respect. First self-respect, then the respect of others. Not because of what I said I'd do, but because of what I actually did. There's no glory in excuses, only temporary comfort. And I'm not here for comfort, I'm here for conquest. Excuses kill progress silently. Execution shouts louder than words ever could. When I execute, I don't need to explain. I don't need to argue. The work speaks. The results tell the story, and that story is one of discipline, hunger, and undeniable drive. It's easy to fall in love with goals, to romanticize the destination, to picture the trophy before the sweat. But execution is rarely glamorous. It's not exciting most days. It's not inspirational most nights. Execution is repetition. It's routine. It's grinding through resistance when nobody is watching. It's dragging myself out of bed when my body begs for more sleep. It's showing up when motivation is dead silent. That's execution. That's where unshakable belief is built. Excuses rest on feelings. Execution stands on standards. And I don't live by how I feel. I live by what I've decided. I decided to be excellent. I decided to be relentless. I decided to be consistent. That decision is final. No negotiation, no compromise. No matter how convincing the excuse may sound, if I said I would do it, I do it. End of story. Every excuse I've ever made hasn't delivered the same thing. Nothing. No progress, no pride, no forward motion, just stagnation, frustration, wasted time. But every time I've executed, especially on the days I didn't want to, I walked away sharper, stronger, more dangerous. Not just because of what I achieved, but because of who I became in the doing. That's the real victory. That's the reward. I don't need the perfect plan. I don't need the perfect conditions. I just need to act, to take the step, to move in the direction of my goal with urgency. Because execution compounds. Each act builds momentum. Each repetition reinforces identity. I become what I consistently do. If I execute like a machine, I become unstoppable. If I let excuses speak, I stay stuck. There will always be a reason not to, always. But those reasons don't exist to be obeyed. They exist to be crushed. Excuses are tests in disguise. They ask, how badly do you want it? My answer isn't in my words. It's in my action. That's the test. That's where my power is proven. So I silence the lies. I shut down the delays. I reject the false comfort excuses tried to sell because I know who I am. I'm a builder, a finisher, a leader. My identity isn't shaped by what I claim. It's carved by what I execute relentlessly and without exception. Excuses are lies. Execution is truth. And I live by truth every single day. I am building an empire, not wasting time. Every second I spend is invested with purpose. I don't scroll aimlessly. I don't sit in doubt. I don't talk endlessly about plans. I execute them. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a half-hearted attempt. This is war. I'm building something massive, something solid, something legendary. Empires aren't built in comfort. They're never built by those who treat time as infinite. I treat my time like gold because it is. Most wasted like tomorrow is guaranteed. I move like I might not get another chance. I don't have time for distractions, drama, gossip, or noise. I'm unavailable for anything that doesn't align with my construction. I don't care how small the brick is. If it moves me closer to the vision, I lay it. Then I lay another and another until a structure towers over the excuses I used to make. Each morning I wake with the reminder, time is limited. I've seen what happens when people wait. They become professional planners, lifetime procrastinators. But not me. I'm locked in. My empire won't build itself. Every decision, every habit, every hour matters. My future, my family, my legacy, my name depend on today. And I treat today with urgency, with fire, with respect. I'm not just working, I'm constructing something bigger than me, the structure that will outlast me. Empires aren't built in a day, they're built in thousands of intentional days, quiet work, relentless repetition, days nobody notices, days where the only companion is vision and discipline. And still, I show up, I keep stacking bricks, While the world sleeps, I build. Most won't get it. That's fine. Most aren't supposed to. This road isn't for the average, it's for the obsessed. For those who know what they want and cut away everything that slows them down. I don't take breaks from purpose. I don't bargain with laziness. I don't ask for balance. I ask for results. Because every day wasted is another day delayed. And delay is the enemy of domination. I've wasted before. I've seen what it brings. Regret, softness, mediocrity. I've walked that path, and I swore never again. Now every moment I'm awake, I'm working the blueprint. Sometimes in silence, sometimes in chaos, always with direction. My time isn't for sale. My attention isn't up for grabs. My energy is reserved for greatness. Every message I ignore, every party I skip, every distraction I cut, it's not sacrifice, it's strategy, it's discipline. I don't fear missing out on entertainment. I fear missing out on potential. Because that's what this is about. Becoming everything I was designed to be. And that only happens when I move with precision, intensity, and unshakable commitment to the empire I'm building. Building an empire isn't just money or fame, it's impact, it's freedom. It's crafting a life so strong I'll never beg for permission, time, or rest. It's creating a future where I call the shots. Not the system, not the economy, not the future, not the present, not the past, on the space. And never. Some chase comfort as if it's a prize. I chase responsibility. I chase results. I'm not looking for easy. I'm looking for worth it. I'm not here to coast. I'm here to conquer. And that mindset shapes everything. How I eat, how I train, how I speak, how I think. Every layer is aligned with the empire I'm raising. It's not about grinding endlessly. It's about moving intensely without pause. Knowing why I act, knowing where I'm going, knowing that every distraction I defeat is another layer of strength. Every time I say no to comfort, I say yes to legacy. Every time I choose discipline over desire, I reinforce the foundation of something indestructible. I don't bend to opinions. I don't slow for quitters. I'm too invested, too far gone, too far ahead. I'm not building for validation. I'm building because I refuse to leave this world. Without proof, I was here. Without proof, I built with purpose. Without proof, I lived with force. Without proof, I made every day count. I am building an empire, not wasting time. That's the difference. That's the code. That's the reason I win. And I will keep stacking brick by brick, day by day, hour by hour, until the world has no choice but to recognize what I've created. I don't need motivation. I need consistency. Motivation is fleeting, fragile, unreliable. It comes when it wants, not when I need it. But consistency, that's the force that builds empires. That's the engine that sculpts identity. That's the wall between the occasional and the obsessed. I don't depend on moods. I depend on who I've chosen to be. And the person I've chosen doesn't wait for sparks of inspiration. He shows up every single day. Most think motivation is the key. They chase videos, music, quotes to spark a feeling, but sparks fade. Fire doesn't sustain itself by accident. It must be fed. And what feeds it is an emotion, it's discipline, it's routine, it's the habit of showing up, especially when I don't feel like it. That's where the shift occurs, where interest becomes commitment. That's why I don't wait for motivation. I move without it. I've trained my mind to obey the mission, not the mood. Consistency is trusting myself to show up, not sometimes, but every time. To keep going when no one claps. To push when everything whispers stop. That's when consistency becomes power. Not loud energy, but locked in focus, habits, systems, structures that don't care if I'm tired, discouraged, or uninspired because emotions pass, but my goals stay. And they're waiting for me to stop flirting with effort and fully commit to excellence. Theory: excellence doesn't care about my mood. It only answers to consistent execution. Motivation is emotional. Consistency is strategic. Motivation may start the fire, but only consistency keeps it burning. And I am relentless consistency. Every single day, my mind obeys what I command it to believe. It doesn't operate on truth. It operates on repetition. It listens to my voice, not the world's noise. Whatever I feed it daily with certainty becomes its law. That's power. That's leverage. My mind becomes servant to my dominant thoughts. If I say I'm weak, it will find proof to confirm it. If I say I'm strong, it will move mountains to prove me. Right. The choice is mine. The command is mine. I own that power and I use it without apology. Most never learn this. They let their mind control them instead of controlling their mind. They let fear roam free. They let doubt sit at the head of the table. Not me. I am the architect. I choose the blueprint. I don't tolerate thoughts that sabotage me. I reject them the second they appear. Because a mind left unchecked becomes a battlefield. A mind trained with intention becomes a weapon. Every day I speak to myself like the leader I am. I don't wait to feel confident. I command confidence. I don't allow weakness to script my story. I delete it, overwrite it, and replace it with power. What I believe, I become. And belief begins with repetition, word after word, until my mind stops questioning and starts obeying. There's no room in my head for hesitation, confusion, or pity. I speak in absolutes. I move with certainty. My mind doesn't get to negotiate with the mission. When I say we're doing this, it listens. When doubt whispers, I shout louder. I drown it out with truth, my truth, not the one handed down by society, not the one shaped by failures, the one I've written with decision and discipline. That's how I reprogram my reality from the inside out, not through luck, but through relentless self-command. I don't speak as a victim, I speak as a creator. My words aren't empty, they're instructions. And my mind doesn't resist them because I've trained it to obey. I built that trust brick by brick through consistency and clarity. And when I fall short, I don't entertain guilt, I recalibrate. I speak power again. Belief is not a spark, it's a system. It's not a moment, it's a habit. I don't just believe in myself, I build belief daily. People ask how I stay focused. The answer is simple. I don't give my mind another option. I decide who I am, then feed it to my brain until it aligns, until it obeys, until it acts in harmony with my declaration. That's my edge. That's my leverage. I don't hope to believe, I command it, because I know how dangerous the wrong belief can be. Lies like, you're not enough, you always fail, you'll never make it, infect like a virus. I treat those lies as enemies. I don't argue with them, I execute them. I replace them with truths I've earned and proven. This isn't fake confidence, it's control. It's mental discipline. I don't let the world's labels limit me. I don't let the past chain me. I let my sharpened voice, hardened by scars and storms, decide what's next. And my mind, like a loyal soldier, obeys that voice. The reason most fail isn't lack of talent, it's belief in the wrong script. They repeat weakness until weakness becomes their world. I refuse. I choose precision. I choose fire. Every word I speak to myself is fuel, is armor, is war paint. My mind obeys what I command it to believe. And I command greatness. I command grit. I command strength. Not someday. Now. Especially when it's hard. That's the difference. I've trained my mind to lock in when others break. To see pressure as a trigger to rise, not retreat. To chase challenge, not comfort. Because that's who I am. That's who I've chosen to be. The more I declare it, the stronger it becomes. The more I repeat it, the more real it feels. The more I speak it, the more unstoppable I get. This isn't magic. It's mastery. I don't chase comfort. Comfort is poison. It's the silent drug that kills ambition. It whispers lies. You've done enough. You deserve to relax. Play it safe. But I know the truth. Comfort is the enemy. It dulls the edge. It weakens the hunger. It steals the fire, and I will not let it. I wasn't designed for average. I wasn't built to hide. I was built for fire, for pressure, for growth. And you don't grow by doing less. Every day, the world offers two paths: the easy road of distraction and gratification, or the hard road of challenge and demand. One ends in illusion. The other ends in power. I don't hesitate. I choose the hard road. I choose the climb. I choose the fight. Because greatness isn't gifted. It's earned brick by brick, battle by battle, earned only by those willing to walk through fire. Those who live in comfort never discover who they could have been. They stay locked in routine, doing just enough, wondering why nothing changes. That's not me. I destroy comfort because it is the anchor holding people in place while the world passes them by. I seek resistance. I hunt the edge, not because I hate ease, but because I know what lies beyond it. Comfort tells you to settle. Greatness demands you rise. Comfort rewards you now. Greatness rewards you forever. And I know my choice every single time. When I wake, I don't look for ease. I look for friction. I train when I'm tired. I focus when I'm bored. I act when no one is watching. Because I know the secret. Greatness isn't a spark. It's a standard. It's the line I refuse to cross downward, no matter how tempting. Most can't hold it. They've made peace with average. I never will. My life isn't about what's easy. It's about what's necessary. And what's necessary is sacrifice. What's necessary is repetition. What's necessary is doing what others won't, so I can live as they can't.